Modern engineers, billion-dollar budgets, the most advanced technology in human history. And there are structures on this planet they cannot explain. Not ancient myths, not legends. Real buildings, real materials, real engineering. That should have been completely impossible. Here are 7 of them. Method 1. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Let us start with the most obvious one, because even though you have heard of it 1,000 times, most people still do not understand just how impossible it actually is. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built around 2560 BC. It stands 146 meters tall. It contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighs between 2.5 and 80 tons. The entire structure was completed in roughly 20 years. Do the math. That means one block, cut, transported and placed with precision every single 5 minutes, day and night, for 20 years straight. But here is what people miss when they focus on the size. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 0.05 degrees. That is not an accident. That is a level of astronomical and mathematical precision that was not matched by any structure in Europe for over 3,000 years. The base of the pyramid, covering 53,000 square meters of ground, is level to within just 2.1 centimeters across the entire surface. 2.1 centimeters, across the equivalent of 10 football pitches. Modern construction engineers have attempted to figure out how this was done. They still argue about it. Floodplain leveling, astronomical sighting, water channels. Every theory works partially, but none fully explains the combined precision of all 4 sides simultaneously. We can build bigger structures today. We cannot build them more precisely using only the tools they had. Method 2. Sacsayhuamán, Peru. In the mountains of Peru, at an altitude of 3,700 meters above sea level, the Inca built a fortress using stone so large and fitted so precisely that a piece of paper cannot be slid between them. The largest stones at Sacsayhuamán weigh over 100 tons. Some weigh closer to 360 tons. They were quarried from a site 35 kilometers away, transported over mountain terrain with no wheels, no horses, and no iron tools, and then fitted together using a technique called ashlar masonry, where each stone is individually shaped with multiple angles so that it locks perfectly against every stone touching it, with no mortar, no glue, and no binding material of any kind. The joints are so tight that centuries of earthquakes in one of the most seismically active regions on Earth have not shifted them by a single millimeter. Meanwhile, Spanish colonial buildings constructed right next to Sacsayhuamán using modern techniques of that era have collapsed multiple times during the same earthquakes. The Inca engineering was not just impressive, it was actively superior to what came after it. How they shaped those stones, particularly the multi-angled irregular cuts that fit together like a 3-dimensional jigsaw puzzle, is still not fully understood. Experimental archaeologists have tried. The closest anyone has come still does not match the original quality. Method 3. The Göbekli Tepe complex, Turkey. Everything we thought we knew about the timeline of human civilization was rewritten when this site was excavated. Göbekli Tepe is a complex of massive carved stone pillars in southern Turkey. The largest pillars stand 5.5 meters tall and weigh up to 10 tons each. They are covered in intricate, detailed carvings of animals, symbols, and abstract shapes. And they were built approximately 11,500 years ago. That is 6,000 years before Stonehenge, 7,000 years before the Great Pyramid. At a time when, according to everything we previously understood about human development, people were still simple hunter-gatherers with no permanent settlements, no agriculture, and no organized society. You cannot build a structure like Göbekli Tepe without organized labor, without people who specialized in carving and construction, without a system for feeding and coordinating hundreds of workers over years or decades, which means that either organized human civilization began 6,000 years earlier than we thought, or something happened at Göbekli Tepe that completely breaks our current model of human development. Archaeologists are still excavating it. They estimate less than 5% of the site has been uncovered so far. Whatever is still buried there may rewrite history again. Method 4. The Aqueducts of Rome. The Romans built 11 major aqueducts that supplied the city of Rome with approximately 1 billion litres of fresh water every single day. 1 billion litres per day in 300 BC. The longest Roman aqueduct, the Aqua Claudia, stretched over 68 kilometres. It carried water from mountain springs into the heart of Rome, flowing entirely by gravity, with no pumps, no engines, and no mechanical assistance of any kind. Here is the engineering miracle. Across 68 kilometres of terrain, hills, valleys, rivers, and plains, the gradient of the water channel dropped at a precise and consistent rate of just 34 centimetres per kilometre. 34 centimetres per kilometre, maintained continuously across 68 kilometres of ancient landscape. Using only Roman surveying tools, a device called a groma, and a water level. If the gradient was too steep, the water flow would erode the channel. Too shallow, and the water would not move at all. The Roman engineers calculated the exact middle ground and maintained it across the entire length with an accuracy that modern hydrological engineers openly marvel at. Parts of the Roman aqueduct system are still functional today. Water still flows through sections of channels built 2,000 years ago. Some cities in Europe and the Middle East used Roman aqueduct infrastructure as their primary water supply well into the 20th century. Method 5. The Nazca Lines, Peru. In the coastal desert of southern Peru, someone between 500 BC and 500 AD drew a series of enormous geoglyphs into the ground. Lines, geometric shapes, and giant figures of animals and humans. The figures include a hummingbird 93 meters long, a spider 46 meters wide, a monkey with a spiraling tail stretching 190 meters. They are perfectly proportioned. The angles are geometrically accurate. The lines are straight across distances of several kilometers, and they can only be properly seen and appreciated from the air. The people who made them had no aircraft, no hot air balloons, no elevated vantage point that would have shown them what their creation actually looked like from above. And yet the proportions are correct, which means they were working from a scaled design, drawing on a small surface first and then scaling up to ground level using a grid system with extraordinary mathematical precision. Here is what makes this even more remarkable. The Nazca Desert is one of the most stable arid environments on Earth. Minimal wind, minimal rain, almost no erosion. The lines have survived 2,000 years, not because they were deeply cut, they are only about 30 centimeters deep, but because the Nazca people chose the one environment on the planet where shallow marks in the ground would last for millennia. Whether that was intentional foresight or extraordinary luck, nobody knows. Method 6. Stonehenge, England. Stonehenge is one of the most studied ancient structures on Earth, and the more it is studied, the less certain we are about how it was actually built. The sarsen stones, the large upright stones most people picture when they think of Stonehenge, weigh up to 25 tons each. They were transported from a quarry in Marlborough Downs, 25 kilometres away, but the smaller blue stones, which form the inner circle, came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, 250 kilometres away, across rivers, hills and open sea. They weighed up to 4 tons each. There are 80 of them. Moving a 4-ton stone 250 kilometres without wheels, roads or motorised equipment is already extraordinary. But what makes Stonehenge genuinely impossible is the precision of the final placement. Stonehenge is aligned with the rising sun on the summer solstice and the setting sun on the winter solstice with pinpoint astronomical accuracy. This alignment has been consistent for over 4,000 years. The builders also used a construction technique called mortise and tenon joints on the horizontal lintels, the same joinery technique used in fine woodworking, but applied to 7-ton stones, shaped by hand, fitted together at height, with no mechanical lifting equipment. Experimental archaeology projects using authentic tools and large teams of volunteers have tried to move and place replica stones. The results consistently suggest that the real construction would have taken resources and coordination far beyond what historians previously believed the people of that era could organize. Method 7. The Iron Pillar of Delhi. We end with something smaller than everything else on this list, but in some ways more impressive than all of them. Standing in the courtyard of the Quwwat-ul-Islam Mosque in Delhi is a wrought iron pillar. It is 7.2 meters tall, weighs approximately 6 tons, and was forged sometime around 375 AD. It has been standing in the open air, exposed to the monsoon rains and humidity of the Indian subcontinent for over 1,600 years. It has no rust, none, not a trace, after 16 centuries of exposure to one of the most corrosive climates on Earth. Modern metallurgical analysis finally revealed why in 2002, the iron pillar was forged using a process that created a thin passive layer of a compound called miso-white, a form of iron hydrogen phosphate, on its surface. This layer formed naturally during the forging process and has continuously self-repaired over 1,600 years, preventing any oxidation from penetrating the metal. The catch: this forging technique requires an extraordinarily precise control of temperature and the specific composition of the iron ore used. Small variations in either direction and the protective layer does not form. The craftsmen who built this pillar in 375 AD had no spectroscopes, no metallurgical laboratories, no chemistry textbooks. They achieved a result through experience and intuition that modern materials scientists took until 2002 to even understand, let alone replicate. India's modern steel industry has studied this pillar extensively. The specific combination of conditions that produced it has never been intentionally reproduced. Subscribe to Ash and Ancestors. The next video goes even deeper.